It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
Every day opens a new door to learn, to grow, to connect with special people. People who in big ways and small improve your life. Every moment, another chance to achieve a goal, to buy a home, grow a business, start a family, and build lifelong relationships. Bank with trust. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
We are live at the Rose Hill Gymnasium on the campus of Fordham University. It is the second of 4 quarterfinals in a rematch of last year's quarterfinal. As the Cardinal Hayes Cardinals, they've made their way back in the Bronx. They didn't have a far trip, did they, as they take on St. Francis Prep. This quarterfinal showdown presented by Maspeth Federal Savings. We thank Maspeth Federal Savings so much for their sponsorship. And we welcome you here, Dylan Butler, Zendon Hamilton. One semifinal berth is already booked. St. Ray's just beating Nazareth. A bit of a revenge tour there for St. Ray's. And you could make the argument the same could be true for this Cardinal Hayes team that last year played St. Francis Prep here in the quarterfinals, rallied wildly to come back into the game late, cause St. Francis Prep to sweat it out a little bit down the stretch before the Terriers pulled it out. That being said, though, this is a much different Cardinal Hayes team. It's a young team, but one that Joe Loades likes a lot. All of this means we should be in for another fun matchup.
It's the postseason, like I said in the first game, Dylan, and like you said, Cardinal Hayes is a young group, but guess what? It's time to grow up.
It is. They have graduated at this point. Let's take a look at the bracket and see how these two teams made their way here. For Cardinal Hayes, they had to win a game, and they beat Zavarian. You see at the bottom right of your screen, a tight one there as they win it 51-40 over the Clippers. And St. Francis Prep, as a result of winning the Brooklyn Queens Championship for a second consecutive year, they are BQ1, which means they had a bye to this quarterfinal showdown against the Cardinals. But for Cardinal Hayes, we'll start there. 19-8 on a team that a lot of people outside of the program had very little expectations for. Players transferred, players graduated. So not a lot of returning parts for Cardinal Hayes. But as we said again, a young team that plays loose. They're not worried about the bright lights. And that's a thing that you like when you get to a stage like this.
Sure. And you got Coach Joe Loades in his 16th season. He knows a little bit about the postseason. Likes to play all 10 players, and like you said, they are young, but it's time to grow up.
Two guys that Joe Loades will rely on here this afternoon. We take a look at the Cardinal Hayes players to watch. These are your two leaders. These are your two juniors. It's Malik Fields and David Gaiman.
Two terrific scorers. Malik Fields, we'll start with him first, who can really shoot the ball. Tons of size, them being 6'4", 6'3", athletic. and really can get others involved, okay? You see him on the break here, getting the easy two, but really, really a high IQ player. Then Damon Gaiman, who coach says is fearless. I look at these two, Dylan, almost like Steve Francis, Cuttino Mobley type of players that can really get their own at any time on the floor, okay? You see Damon really getting his own with the pull-up jumper, as well as Malik can as well.
There is no shot that David Gaiman thinks he cannot make. That is the confidence level in that junior. You see him averaging 16 points a game. Malik Fields averaging 15 points a game. As we take a look now at the Terriers. 22-4 on the year for St. Francis Prep, a team that has reached the semifinals for 3 consecutive years. They're looking to make that next step forward, but first they've got to get past Cardinal Hayes for a second straight year. St. Francis Prep, we know what they're about. Joe Arbitello, the Christ King coach, said they've got a very good player in every position on the floor, which makes them a dangerous, dangerous team.
Very dangerous. And like you said, they are a little bit older. I wouldn't say old because I'm old, but as being a younger team, they are the senior leaders of this team. They've been here before and ready to get started.
And two guys that will rely on not only today, but they've relied on throughout the season. Of course, Veer Anthony, their senior point guard, and Big O, they call him, Ousmane Sako. What a great 1-2 combination for these Terriers.
These two inside out. First you have Veer Anthony, the senior, knows how important this game is. Athletic, scoring about 16 a game, and he really is the leader of influence. Can hit the open shot, can really get, he has an explosive first step, get to the rim, lives in the lane a little bit. Then you have the Big O, 3-level scorer, big-time player. Division I, he's gonna make somebody's program really happy when it's his time, okay? Only a junior, gets to the lane, lives in the lane, can go over both shoulders, flexes on people, okay? And when it's time, he reintroduces himself to people with the athletic finish.
So Veer Anthony, Ousmane Sako, two of the leaders for these Terriers. We take a look, Z, at our keys to this one as both teams getting into their final huddles.
Yep, you got Cardinal Hayes. As any team in these important games, you do not want to turn the ball over. Obviously, you want to take care of the defensive rebounding as well as offensive. And the Cardinal Hayes wants to play loose, even though they're young, wants to play loose. Then you have St. Francis. You want to take away their actions because Cardinal Hayes has so many really, really good sets. Can't give them any buckets in transition. Obviously, got to get back on defense and win the battle on the glass.
It is St. Francis Prep. It's Cardinal Hayes. Starters, opening tip when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza,
artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven.
For fast fire perfection.
Come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
Every day opens a new door to learn, to grow, to connect with special people. People who in big ways and small improve your life. Every moment, another chance to achieve a goal, to buy a home, grow a business, start a family, and build lifelong relationships. Bank with trust. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn
Sean White from half court. That is cash. What a way to end the third quarter.
As West barks out the signals. West is going to keep it himself inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown. Touchdown, Southside.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email Ben at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity.
Back here at Rose Hill Gymnasium, Dylan Butler, Zenon Hamilton, our entire Varsity Media crew for the second of 4 quarterfinal showdowns. It's Cardinal Hayes. There's a good look at the young Cardinals as they will take on St. Francis Prep. For Joe Loads, you see him at the bottom of your, or right in the middle of your screen there, a St. Francis Prep alum. Joked with us, he's got a love-hate relationship with the Terriers. Class of 1993 for Joe Loads.
Tough situation for Joe.
Well, yes, it is. But he is a Cardinal right now, trying to lead this team to take that next step into the semifinals. We take a look at the starters for Cardinal Hayes. Look at the youth. None of these guys graduating. Bryce Yancey, the freshman. We see Malik Fields and David Gaiman. Suleiman Cohn, another freshman. And the 5th starter, they're going small this afternoon as Nas Campbell is your 5th starter.
Gonna have to grow up quick.
As we mentioned, the head coach of these Cardinals, there is Joe Loads, 16th season at the helm. Over 340 career wins for Joe Loads at Cardinal Hayes.
A wealth of knowledge, Dylan, he has.
And laughs, knowledge and laughs. As we take a look now at the starters for St. Francis Prep, it's the usual suspects, right? Veer Anthony, Jaden Huggins, Justin DeSena, he too, a fearless freshman. Osman Asako, and an Ethan Butler, the guy that so many coaches around this league call the X factor for St. Francis Prep. You need 3 guys, right?
Sure.
You need a 3-headed monster.
Sure.
You know what you're getting from Veer Anthony. You know what you're getting from Osman Asako. But Ethan Butler really has elevated his game and St. Francis Prep's game this year.
He's taken a serious jump from last year. Dylan has really transformed his game, transformed his body, and he's really improved from last year.
And there's a look at the head coach, Jimmy Lynch, 8th season at the helm. He too, a graduate of St. Francis Prep. Although I'm sure he'll tell Joe Loads, maybe at the pizzeria over there in Rockville Center, I'm younger than you. I'm the young buck, Jimmy Lynch. Also a math teacher at St. Francis Prep.
Very nice.
2000. Yes, he is. 2022 Coach of the Year in this league. Our officials for today's contest, Steve Salucio. Smush Parker back on his home court. Here's a good look at Smush. Played here for Fordham. And then Steve Taylor as well to round out this 3-man crew.
Dylan, you can say we got the young fellas against the vets today.
Yes, indeed. Winner of this one will take on St. Ray's in the semifinals. That is Thursday night. As we are set to go here. Quarterfinal number 2. 3 o'clock on a Sunday. Sacco wins it back to DeSena. DeSena lives in Rockville Center with Joe Loads. Apparently the U-Haul that Joe Loads was going to park in front of the DeSena driveway to keep Justin from getting here never arrived as Butler is fouled on the baseline.
Speak of the devil, a serious first step on the baseline for Butler. Almost reverses it and finishes in the lane.
And And Ethan Butler will go to the line, averaging just a shade under 15 points a game. Has an offer from Iona. You wonder if the coaches here at Fordham will take a close look at the junior. Misses his first free throw.
Yeah, just a high IQ kid. Really understands the game, Dylan.
0 for 2 for Butler. And here's Malik Fields running the point. You expect to see a lot of man from St. Francis Prep, but Cardinal Hayes on the other side, they will mix up their defense. As it's Naz Campbell, hands off to Gaiman. An extra step, says Steve Salucio.
Maybe a little bit of nerves from the young fellas early on. Shuffle the puppies a little bit.
Yeah, and apologies for me. That was actually a foul called on Naz Campbell for the illegal block.
Okay.
And here's Jaden Huggins. Hayes will allow Huggins some room to operate.
Sure.
Again, right, you pick your poison when you play St. Francis Prep. Here's Big O. Sacco the rebounds. And the kick out. DeSena, that's his sweet spot. And DeSena buries the college triple.
You're going to be seeing a lot of that. You got the Big O grabbing rebounds. If he's not finishing them, he's throwing them out for open threes to his teammates.
And Joe Lodes has seen a lot of that in DeSena's driveway, right? Just knocking down shot after shot, trying to perfect that craft of his. Campbell, fadeaway, foul line, no good. And here comes Veer Anthony the other way. Anthony to Big O, good defense by Campbell. Leaking out, Malik Fields, and Fields with the layup. It's now Huggins. In our conversation with Joe Lodes, said we're going to give a lot of different looks. And a traveling violation called against Butler. And while Joe Lodes usually the quickest in the league to call a timeout, that's an unofficial stat, by the way, goes right away to his bench to bring in Christian Brown. Now, Z, he will play upwards of 10 players. He has a short roster, but one where he feels everyone can play.
Sure, he feels comfortable, really comfortable with his group, even though they're a tad bit young, to really give them the green light and wants them to play loose. This is only a basketball game, he told us when we spoke to him. Once it's really...
Sacco in transition. And the leader in the league in the earliest timeouts, Joe Lodes, takes one.
Speak of the devil, we just spoke about that.
He takes that 30. And this is Sacco doing what he does best. And there's a question, right? Like, how does he hurt you, right? He can knock down the triple. You mentioned he could score in 3 different ways, Sacco. But that's what Joe Lodes doesn't want. That's probably part of the conversation right now among his guys. One is to, let's calm down. But also, he would rather Sacco shoot threes, which will now allow his team, which isn't as big as St. Francis Prep, to grab rebounds then. If the biggest guy on Prep is shooting threes, that means there's rebounds to be had inside.
Sure, and I'm pretty sure not only does he want him to shoot threes, doesn't want him to score, okay? So he wants somebody else to be the scorer other than Big O.
Yeah, Joe Lodes said he has left this gym way too many times in his career, beaten by the other team's best. He said, we want to, if we're losing today, let it be anyone but Sacco. As it's Huggins now, lowers the shoulder, and he's called for the charge.
No question. Seeing both teams just trying to get organized here, the early going.
And now it's big Amadou Barry into the game. This is really the size for Hayes.
Okay, we got the big fella, obviously probably to match up with Big O. Put some physicality on him.
And our own Oliver Antigua references Barry, who knocks down the triple. His nickname for him, the Dancing Bear.
The Dancing Bear. I like that one.
And Barry with the triple, tying this game at 5. DeSena, good job to stay inbounds. It's Huggins for 3, off the mark. Barry, and now it's Hayes in transition, pulling up. Gaiman, in and out. Offensive rebound for Brown. Open 3, side rim no good. Loose ball goes to Veer Anthony. Anthony on the court. Veer Anthony in and out.
Oh, pretty move by Anthony. Just couldn't finish.
Gets the ball right back to Butler. Butler says, "Get out of the way, Dancing Bear."
And you and you see the Big Bear clogging the middle up. Doing a good
helter
job.
Skelter right now. Veer Anthony crashes into the scorer's table. Joe Loads making sure the St. Francis Prep point guard is okay. Huggins out. And this is a good sign for St. Francis Prep. Connor Griffin back in the game. This is a guy who tore a muscle in his hip earlier this season. There was a question on when Griffin would return, and he has been bugging Jimmy Lynch. He's been in his ear. "Coach, can I play? Coach, can I play?" Connor, please, rehab. And Connor has, and he's back in the game for St. Francis Prep. Fields, 2 on the shot clock, has to fade away. Front rim, Big O, the rebounds. Big O from 3. Be careful what you wish for if you're Joe Loads, because he said we're comfortable with him being on the perimeter. I'm not sure if he's comfortable with him knocking down those perimeter shots, though. 8-5, the early lead for St. Francis Prep.
Big O has come and has come ready.
Nice move by Bryce Yancey. As he was stripped on his way there. Yancey has a knack for scoring. A freshman. You go up and down this lineup. Not a senior to be had. Here's Barry. He already knocked down a triple. Forced it inside. That's where Gaiman is. The kick back out to Fields. Fields puts it on the court, backs it up. Now there's 4 on the shot clock. Fields harassed by Veer Anthony. Puts it up from the M, and Fordham buries it.
We said he can shoot the basketball, Dylan. It's a big-time scorer.
That from beyond NBA range. It's been a while for Connor Griffin. In and out. Big O. Can't get the putback. And Gaiman the other way to Fields. Fields in transition, runs at Butler, and he is fouled by Ethan Butler.
And that's just a professional scorer, running his body in transition into the defender so he can get the bucket up. You see here, running his body into the defender so he can get some space to get that left-hand layup, which he couldn't convert. Him and Gaiman are just professional scorers.
So Malik Fields to the line. His father played at Iona for Jeff Rulin back in his day. Dad about 6'8", 6'9", so Joe Loads hoping that Fields at 6'4" has a little more growth in him. But a guy who can play the 1, he can play the 2. Again, with the pedigree, right? He's got the IQ as well.
Sure does.
As Fields knocks down both.
Man, if he can get to 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", look out.
Yeah, he will not pay college tuition.
No, he won't.
Here's Griffin. What Griffin does, too, for St. Francis Prep, as Sacco to Anthony, his 3 in and out. Foul by Butler. 2 quickies for Ethan Butler. But to that point, what Griffin gives you, and it's much needed on a bigger court, like here at Fordham, is a little bit of depth. St. Francis Prep without Griffin has been playing 6, maybe 7 deep. Now you can go 8. And also now with Butler with those 2 quickies, Hao Chen checks into the game for the Terriers.
As we talk about the multifaceted skill set that Malik has, he's out here running the point.
Barry. Ooh, a couple extra steps. Fields, he likes that long distance three, misses that one. Anthony, it's the Senna. I think behind him was calling for the ball, realizing that was Gaiman. A little helter-skelter right now. What you want to do in those situations, get the ball into this guy's hands.
Yes, sir.
Let Veer Anthony, the 4-year starting point guard, operate. That shot is short.
Up and down we go.
Here is Fields to Barry. Oh, great look down low from Barry. Surrounded, though, by Terriers was Gaiman. That was 1-on-4. They collapsed quickly. Veer Anthony to the cup and count it. And now Jimmy Lynch, I think he's about second in the league in quickest timeouts. He is renowned for that 30-second first quarter timeout. One that he says it's just to reset. Let's reset here. Let's relax. Here's where we are, and let's go.
Yeah, Mr. Veer Anthony doing exactly what he does in semi-transition, living in the lane, getting to the bucket.
St. Francis Prep, you look at their last 4 years, as we mentioned, 3 consecutive trips to the semifinals. They have been knocking on the door, but they've been unable. They haven't had that invite to that second Sunday in March. They're hoping this is the year that they reach the finals for the first time since 1997. A year ago, they lost to Archbishop Stepanak in the semifinals. And we know what Pat Massaroni's Crusaders did. They went back-to-back to win the Catholic League Championship. This time, those two are on opposite sides of the bracket as we're inside the final minute of quarter number 1. Here's Fields, guarded by Veer Anthony. Pull-up jumper is good by Christian Brown. Scored 18 earlier this year against Stepanak.
Yep, he's a streaky three-point shooter, but you see him convert there.
Veer Anthony, the kick, Chen, one more, DeSena, right in front of his neighbor, Joe Loads.
And you see Veer Anthony collapsed the defense, the extra pass to the corner, and the 3-ball.
Fields beats the buzzer from the baseline. And that jumper, Zendon has given Hayes the 1-point lead after 1.
A professional scorer, he is. If he grows a couple more inches, it's going to be real trouble, Dylan.
Well, he is trouble right now for the Terriers. It's Hayes by 1 after 1. You're watching this quarterfinal showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Every day opens a new door to learn, to grow, to connect with special people. People who in big ways and small improve your life. Every moment, another chance to achieve a goal, to buy a home, grow a business, start a family, and build lifelong relationships. Bank with trust. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
Back at Rose Hill Gymnasium, Cardinal Hayes, no stranger to winning here in the Bronx and going on deep runs as well. We take a look at their last 4 years. Semi-finalists before the COVID break, and then the champions. That was at Hofstra that year, and then they were runners-up a year later at St. John's, losing to Stepanak after beating the Crusaders. And a year ago, 14-14. It was in a completely different team last year. No Ian Jackson, no Elijah Moore. You did have Adam Njai. And it was Njai who took the last second shot for Hayes in that loss to St. Francis Prep. Barry's 3 off the front rim, and now the Terriers look to run.
Yeah,
it is Huggins.
He's comfortable being out there. He can hit that.
Big O doubled in the post. Great reversal. Open. Hao Chen. Side rim no good.
Terrific skip pass by Big O, who they're going to be doubling a lot in the posted area.
And it's Fields.
Let's see if David can get going.
Oh, the lefty finish. Amari snipes. He's got goggles, he's active, and he's looking for the three-point play. Great lefty finish.
Yes, terrific first step in the lane, and he gets his shoulder by the defender. Couldn't do anything about it.
Joe Lodes joked they call him Showtime because he doesn't look to see where he's passing the basketball. But Snipes is fearless. When he's in, it is his time to go. Unable to complete the three-point play. It is a three-point lead for the Cardinals.
Got a little down screen.
Huggins. And again, they'll give him that space, and Huggins takes advantage.
Anybody but the Big O. That's what Coach Joe Lode wants.
Oh, step back, Gaiman. Game on for Gaiman.
Gaiman and Fields. You're going to be hearing those last names a lot today.
Hayes lead back up to 3. Griffin, front rim triple, no good. Anthony the rebound, surrounded. Gets out of it. Whoa, the scoop shot. No good. Huggins loses it.
Terrific second chance point. Probably want to pass that one out and reset.
And one thing that you always, when we talked to Joe Lodes, and he referenced Anthony, he said just a guy just doesn't show emotion. There you saw a little bit of frustration from his face, but very few outward signs of emotion as he is just locked in. Quick outlet, looking for Huggins. Fortunate for St. Francis Prep, it took a deflection off of Hayes, and it will stay with the Terriers.
Early on, Hayes is doing a terrific job keeping the ball out of Big O's hands.
Griffin out and Butler back in. Remember, though, Ethan Butler with 2 fouls. Here is Anthony. Huggins, they'll guard him now. They'll double O, the kick out. Anthony looks good from here. A little too long, though. From our vantage point up top, we have a good look at that rim, right? And it looked on from our side, but a little bit long. Nazir Campbell picks up his second. He'll go to the bench. Amadou Barry back in for the Cardinals.
Sure, and like we talked about, just Hayes doing a terrific job trying to frustrate the Big O anytime he catches the basketball.
Sacco off the inbounds. Here is Anthony. Open 3, Huggins, rims around no good. Great tap back by O. Another offensive rebound, and Sacco is fouled.
It's going to have to be that type of game for Sacco. Getting things off the glass.
Sacco, there's still 5:30 left in this quarter. Big O has 6 rebounds, 3 of them on the offensive glass. That is good signs for St. Francis Prep.
I think it's going to have to be that type of game for Sacco today. It's going to have to dominate the glass instead of dominating possessions and attempts like he's used to. Coach Joe Woes won't allow it.
Correct. Knocks down both. He'll go to the bench as St. Francis Prep goes a little bit small now. Hao Chen and Connor Griffin back in the game. One guy who doesn't leave the floor is that guy, Anthony. Great recognition, but it went off his hands and out. It'll stay with Cardinal Hayes.
Going to have to step his advances up now that Sacco is taking a breather.
Veer is your 36-minute man. Inbound for Hayes, it'll be Fields. Gets it to Barry. The Dancing Bear, baseline, loses it.
Even though he lost it, he has some footwork down there. Agile he is.
Yeah, Joe Lodes tries to make sure that Barry stays out of C.J. O'Neal's football office. Doesn't want his Dancing Bear to be an old lineman. Here's Snipes to Barry. 1 point lead for Hayes.
Trying to get organized here for Hayes.
And Gaiman has been quiet to this point. Turnaround, jumper. No good. Barry the rebound. Good save by the big man. Here's Snipes. Bounce pass inside. A little hectic. Hao Chen on the court. Gets to Huggins. Terriers 3-on-3. Huggins. Great kick. Open three. DeSena in and out. Great look for the freshman.
Very nice. Drive, draw, dish, semi-transition. Just got to knock it down.
And Sacco sidelined momentarily. He comes back in for Griffin. And you got to think with Griffin being out as long as he has, you manage those minutes as well.
You have to.
Here's Hao Chen. Sometimes it's forgotten, but Hao Chen also a 4-year varsity player for the St. Francis Prep team as Hayes out in transition. And it is Malik Fields with the finish. That one off of Barry.
The Malik Fields and David Gaiman show we have here early, Dylan.
And Butler back in for Hao Chen. So we've seen pretty much the depth of this St. Francis Prep team here in the first half.
Uh-oh.
Huggins, they're going to give him that shot. That one he misses.
Got to take advantage of the opportunities now. That wide open.
Fields the handoff, deep three by Yancey, the freshman. Those eyes got wide.
Well, coach doesn't want him to play with any fear. This is what he's taking advantage of here.
He also said when he touches it, he wants to shoot it for sure. Anthony. That's 10 on 10. Veer Anthony, the contact, and he'll go to the line. Fouled there by Yancey.
4-year starter, trying to take advantage, get downhill. Gets the angle on the young fella and gets to the rim.
Timeout called by Cardinal Hayes. It's a 30, so we'll stay right here. But a big day of hoops here for us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. This is game 2 of 4. 5 o'clock. We'll have Archbishop Stepanak and Holy Cross doing battle.
Sure, that's a big one.
And then at 7 o'clock, the finale will pit Christ the King and Iona Prep. Two very evenly matched teams to close things out at 7 o'clock. They met earlier this year in Middle Village, a tight win for the Royals. And then the scene shifts. Location stays the same, but the stakes grow larger as we'll have the semifinals on Thursday, 6 and 8 o'clock, and then the granddaddy of them all, the second Sunday in March, 3 o'clock, daylight savings. It is the final here in the AA.
I don't know about you, Dylan, but there's nowhere else I would want to be on a Sunday like this, basketball all day long.
And there's no other place than we will be than Rose Hill Gymnasium. And we have been more or less locked into our seats as well.
Yes, we have.
As Veer Anthony to shoot 2 coming out of the timeout.
So good getting in the lane, Veer is. He's been doing this 4 years. Want to make him a jump shooter.
I think Pat Massaroni, the Stepinac coach, made a great reference to Veer Anthony's game because of his size and his strength. Called him kind of Brunson-esque with his ability to post up.
I can see that. I can see that.
As he knocks down his free throws, that's another part of Veer Anthony's game that is improved. He, too, an unsigned senior.
Got a little weave action by Hayes. Uh-oh.
It's on the court. Jump ball. It will be St. Francis Prep ball.
These type of games, got to do a better job taking care of the basketball, but as young players, you'll learn that.
Huggins goes back door, the kick out. Good ball movement for the Terriers. Look at Huggins, a little bit too strong though. And Veer Anthony, the putback. One-point lead now for the Terriers. It's Bryce Yancey running the point for the Cardinals. Tries to hand off. That was a deflection, so not a backcourt violation. Connor Griffin takes it anyway. Cookies, says Connor Griffin. To the bucket, unable to finish, but it will stay with St. Francis Prep.
Yeah, just the unforced turnovers by the Cardinal Hayes. You got to take a better care of the basketball. Young freshmen will learn.
Hector Almodovar and Naz Campbell in for Cardinal Hayes. Butler back in for the Terriers. And Yancey called for the hold on Veer Anthony. That is his second and the 4th for the team. So the next foul for Cardinal Hayes will send St. Francis Prep to the line to shoot 2. Huggins to Anthony, splits defenders. Lost it on his way.
Like you
It'll
said,
stay with the Terriers.
I'm sorry, you're going to give him that opportunity.
Sacco, tough jumper. Nearly got a friendly bounce. Fields the other way. Here's Gaiman. Little shake, a little bake, and the knockdown.
Little jab step in Gaiman's game. Get him started.
Butler. And that was dangerous there because Butler's got 2 fouls as he had contact with Fields. But Steve Taylor calls the foul on Naz Campbell. That is his 3rd. And Sacco will go to the line for the 2nd time this afternoon.
Being that he's being doubled every time, he's doing a terrific job. That being Sacco of managing the game. 8 points, 6 rebounds, getting the ball to the open guy. Being doubled, guys are being run at him every time he's got the ball in the post. Doing a good job managing the game.
Connor Griffin. This is a little bit of a wet spot in the lane. Sacco. His 2nd free throw is also good. He's a perfect 4 of 4 from the line in this first half. No separation, though, really. St. Francis Prep with a 1-point lead. Hayes, they are the underdogs to come in, but they are hanging with the Terriers. Here is Fields. Puts it on the floor, denied by Veer Anthony. Fields will try the other way. Goes lefty, fouled on the way there. And that was on Veer Anthony. That's a fun one-on-one matchup.
Yes, it is. And like we talked about, call him the Professional scorer he is. Right to left crossover, gets in the lane, and once he gets to his spot, there's really nothing you can do about it. Already has 11 points, Dylan.
Yeah, leading the way for the Cardinals. And that's 11 of 23. Make it 12 now of 24. So, again, not very good at math, but I'm pretty sure that's half of Cardinal Hayes' points to this point, scored by, oh, hang on. As sub ran on, that was Butler a little bit too quick. So Fields will get another free throw here. But he's got it too economically, right? 4 of 7 from the field for Fields and 3 of 3 from the line as well.
Yep.
Back rim, no good. We are tied at 24. Inside the final 90 seconds of the first half. Huggins attacks the rim and gets 2.
The senior has no fear finishing over the top in the lane.
Final minute of the first half. Here come the Terriers. Connor Griffin. Great pass, Veer Anthony. Thought he was fouled, none given, and then a foul was called against Sacco. Here is Fields. Top of the key 3, no good. A chance now for the Terriers with a 2-point lead to hold for the last. Here's Huggins. And Jimmy Lynch says out. He wants it in Veer Anthony's hands, although he nearly threw that away. And good defense by Bryce Yancey. So the Terriers were trying to hold for 1, and it's Hayes with 11.8, a chance to take maybe the lead to go into halftime. Whoa. Return to sender, said DeSena. He said, I'm not just a 3-point shooter. That was freshman on freshman as Yancey rejected by DeSena. 2.5 seconds left in this first half. Inbound for Fields. Guarded by Anthony, goes off of Veer Anthony. It'll stay with Cardinal Hayes. 1.8 second remaining. Suleiman Cone to inbound. Quick 3, it's up, off the mark by Malik Fields. And at halftime, it is St. Francis Prep with the 2-point lead over Cardinal Hayes in this second of 4 CHSAA quarterfinal games. We will send it down courtside where Zendon Hamilton is with Jimmy Lynch, the St. Francis Prep head coach.
Got Zendon Hamilton at halftime with Coach Jimmy Lynch. Jimmy, you're doing a terrific job this half.
Appreciate it.
What do you want to see going into the second half?
I think they're trying to throw a few things at us. They're guarding some non-shooters maybe. We got to step into it with confidence, and then we're getting away from what we're good at, right? We're taking some bad shots. I think our shot selection's leading to their offense. I think when we're in a 5-on-5 half court, we're terrific defensively. We're only giving up 24 points, but a lot of those were transition points. A lot of those were some crazy shots too. I feel really good about the first half, even though we're only up 2 points right now.
Good job.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you in the second half.
Thanks.
Back to you, Dylan.
Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Zendon, as well, as Jimmy Lynch will hustle to his bench as his Terriers have a 2-point lead at the break. Second half when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash. What a way to end the third quarter.
As West barks out the signals. West is going to keep it himself inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Southside.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media's hype videos stand out with dynamic visuals and storytelling. Our primary goal is to create a memorable impression, excitement, and interest that encourages viewers to engage and participate. Our hype video can be shown on stadium video boards, social media, and school websites. Our hype videos are the perfect feature to get your community amped up for the team and the big game. Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports. For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
Jalen Brunson, you're watching Varsity Media.
Every day opens a new door to learn, to grow, to connect with special people. People who in big ways and small improve your life. Every moment, another chance to achieve a goal, to buy a home, grow a business, start a family, and build lifelong relationships. Bank with trust. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Every day opens a new door to grow, to build relationships. Every moment, a chance to do more. To buy a home, grow a business, start a family. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media. When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
Back here at Rose Hill Gymnasium, second half moments away. It's St. Francis Prep with a 2-point lead over Cardinal Hayes in this, the second of 4 Catholic quarterfinals. Dylan Butler's end on Hamilton, our entire Varsity Media crew. Z, let's take a look at some of the first half stats from this one.
Sure, we got Cardinal Hayes doing a terrific job. And St. Francis Prep doing a terrific job on the glass, which is what they wanted, to control the game.
Yeah, but probably one reason why Jimmy Lynch wasn't happy at halftime was that field goal percentage, 28% from the field. That's not getting it done.
No, that's not. But that's why we got 2 halves. So
that is true. But you see the rebounds, like you said, in St. Francis Prep's edge. That's one thing that Joe Lowe said, too. They're sneaky good rebounding the basketball, the Terriers are.
Yes, yes, he did. Even though they're freshmen, they love to take care of the glass, and hopefully they do in the second half because they're going to need it.
Cardinal Hayes has been led by Malik Fields. 12 points for Fields, 4 of 9 shooting. 2 rebounds. St. Francis Prep, it's been Osmana Sacco. 9 points, 7 rebounds. 2 from 5 from the field for him. Really only DeSena with a good shooting percentage for the Terriers in that first half. DeSena with 6, 2 of 3 shooting from beyond the arc.
I think it's going to be that type of game. It's going to be ugly between these teams. Just that type of defense that they're playing, especially on Sacco.
As it's Barry. Barry tries to get up and under. He'll call for the traveling violation. Both of these teams pretty similar in terms of scoring averages, where Cardinal Hayes averaging 68.2 points a game. St. Francis Prep 1 additional point more, but it's the Terriers a little bit better defensively. Air ball by Butler, rebound by Sacco, rejected by Fields. Sloppy again, and a blocking foul is called. But St. Francis Prep only giving up 53 points a game. Cardinal Hayes giving up 57. So you always hear these coaches talk about 60 being that magic number.
Sure.
And both of these coaches want to limit the opponent to below that number. Huggins.
Very similar, these two. Only in age, they differ.
Yeah. Kick to the corner, open, Huggins buries it.
Things change if he starts hitting that.
29-24 the lead for St. Francis Prep. Here's Barry. The big boys both on the perimeter right now.
He's comfortable on the perimeter, Big Barry.
The dancing bear. Stripped by Sacco. And here's Butler in transition. Splits defenders. The one more to DeSena. The kick in the corner. Big O. Off the mark. Rebound on the floor. Who gets it? It's a battle for the ball. Veer Anthony has his hands on it.
Looks like it'll be a jump.
Possession will stay with the Terriers. And that's the discussion among the officials. Barry back out. Nas Campbell back in for the Cardinals, and they'll still talk it over. Steve Salustio, Smush Parker, and Steve Taylor. But no doubt, Jimmy Lynch gave his team an earful in that locker room at halftime.
Definitely.
As a traveling violation called against Sacco.
Shuffle the puppies trying to get going in this second half. Nobody's really put their stamp on the game in this second half or in the game already, except for maybe Fields. I believe has 12 points already. Has a little bit of SGA in him, in his tempo, Dylan.
And there is Fields. Looks to add to that number. Went soft off the back rim, loose ball. It'll be Cardinal Hayes ball.
Just in his tempo, in his maturity. I don't know if he guides his game after him, but gets to his spots, pulls up.
Bounce pass inside, Fields. A second opportunity, gets Huggins up, count it, and the foul.
Speak of the devil. He just has that type of height, Dylan, where you can throw it right over the top. He can grab his own rebound and finish.
He waited for the contact, which came from Veer Anthony, who picked up his second. Another look.
Absolutely. Jumps into him, creates the contact, and finishes.
Fields with 14 now.
And it
guy.
I'm sorry. It
no,
looks like he's
fine.
not breaking a sweat.
Yeah, for sure. And he's a guy who didn't play a lot last year, right? So he knows with some transfers and the like, more minutes were coming his way, and he's thrived with those additional minutes as Veer Anthony fouled on his way to the basket. The foul on Fields, it is his second, and it is Veer Anthony to the foul line.
The blow-by Veer, who usually that's who he is and what he does.
Front rim, first free throw for Veer Anthony. He has struggled with his shooting, although that has been contagious for his team. 2 of 8 from the field. But what Veer has now has 7 points, but he has 8 rebounds as well.
Doing a terrific job.
And you love that number coming from your point guard.
Love it. A little bit of a sloppy game, but I'm sure things will pick up.
Here comes Big O ahead of the field. Sacco!
Veer with the steal, sends it to his big fella. And Coach Joe wants to talk it over, doesn't like it.
He does. He'll call a full timeout. We'll take it with them as well. 5:43 left, third quarter. Sacco and the Terriers lead at 32-27 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Every day opens a new door to grow, to build relationships. Every moment, a chance to do more. To buy a home, grow a business, start a family. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
And back here at Rose Hill Gymnasium, a look inside that St. Francis Prep huddle, where they have come out with a little bit more intensity.
You think?
In this second half. And that flush by Osmana Sacco maybe adds to it as well.
Sure, Coach Lynch gave him an earful.
Yeah, he's a fan of yours, but not when he needs to go speak to his team. So he wanted to keep the halftime interview short. We understand that.
Not a problem here.
Veer Anthony the steal. And now the Terrier is out and running. It's 4-on-2. Anthony attacks Campbell and Butler the putback.
They've done a good job on David. Hasn't really gotten started here in this game today. Talking about David Gaiman.
Foul off the ball. That's going to be on Huggins. And to your point, Gaiman just 5 points, 2 of 6 from the field. Does have 5 rebounds, though.
Yes. You know, coming from the coach's strategy, you got to take one of those 2 away if you want to get the win here today.
Yeah, we saw in the beginning of the game, right? They average together 31 points a game. So if they stay on their average, then you don't need a whole lot from the other guys.
Question.
Oh, look at that blow by.
Yes.
What a move by the freshman, Bryce Yancey.
Pretty move by Bryce. Blow by and split the defense, getting in the lane.
Open 3, Connor Griffin, side rim no good, loose ball, where's it going? Veer Anthony attacks the cup, no foul, gets it back, Veer Anthony rejected, and Malik Fields, not playing nice, slams the ball off of Veer Anthony's back to make sure that Hayes gets possession.
Yeah, it's getting ugly down here, as you want in this type of game.
Yeah, this is like the Cross Bronx Expressway at around 5 o'clock on any given day of the week. Ugly.
You can say that again.
Fields for 3. Well, that was pretty. So Fields making plays on both ends of the court, and the deficit now 2. Ethan Butler attacks, turns, contested jumper off the mark. DeSena, volleyball off the backboard. Veer Anthony. Salucio says we're tied up. Hayes ball.
Cardinal Hayes doing a terrific job on the glass, walling up. St. Francis can't get an easy look. Got the big fellas down there protecting the rim.
And a timeout by St. Francis Prep.
Coach Lynch wants to talk things over, doesn't like it.
Yeah, he hasn't liked it all day. In the regular season, St. Francis Prep, they went up to the Grand Concourse and they won that game, but that was also a tight one, 70-65. It was Ethan Butler who led the way with 23 and 11. Veer Anthony, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. DeSena, 12 and 8. Big O with 10, 6 assists as well as 3 blocks. Huggins with 7. Connor Griffin with 5 and 4.
You gotta look at it this way, Dylan. If Coach Jimmy Lynch is not happy, they're only down 2. Actually, they're up 2. So he's not happy. That's a good thing.
34-32 is your score. Halfway through quarter number 3. And Z, you've been in these situations. You've been in these kind of slugfests, right? If you're the team that is favorite to win that, how do you get the game going your way?
Your vocal leader, whoever that may be, has to get things going in the locker room at halftime or on the bench right now. It has to start now and has to start early. Get to the free throw line. Set harder screens. Dive on the ball for loose balls. Get yourself going energy-wise to get back in this game, or be favored, or take control of the game. Either way, Dylan, you have to get your energy up.
And you do things like that, right? You get on the court, you win the ball. That's what Ethan Butler did. And then a foul was called.
All that I just said, they're called 50-50 balls. Win those battles. You have to win those battles in these type of games.
Here's Sacco inside. Nothing doing. Thought he got fouled. Look out, DeSena. Here's Gaiman. He's been quiet. Quiet no more. The triple for Gaiman, and it's Hayes back up by 1.
You do not want him to get going.
You want him to get going, though, if you are St. Francis Prep. Little teardrop for Veer Anthony. The finger roll. The dancing bear. What a move. But too many steps.
Terrific pass over the top to Berry, and just couldn't get his puppies corrected. Results in a turnover. Going back the other way. Even that, we have a tight one here in the third quarter.
You got to feel great for Connor Griffin, a guy last year didn't play a lot with a knee injury, missed a ton of this year with that hip injury. But now in the biggest stage, he's back on the court in transition. Big block by Big O. Good save. Campbell, the jumper. He's their energy guy. And it's a 1-point lead again for the Hayesman.
Big block by Big O. But as we talked about, you need those energy guys to get yourself going in these type of games when you're not hitting shots.
Veer Anthony missed that jumper. Fields, he has been on, though. 18 to lead the way for Hayes. Turnover, though, for the Cardinals. Veer Anthony to Griffin. The floater, no good. Big O, count it, and the foul. You want energy moments? That is what you do if you are St. Francis Prep.
Big boy move by the Big O. I'm sure he feels good after that. And you see him there taking on everybody in the paint, Dylan, to finish.
Another look. Waited for the contact, which came from Gaiman. And now a chance to complete the three-point play for Sacco. 13-9. Missed his first free throw. A little bit of a tap by Butler to keep the play alive, but it goes to the Cardinals.
Absolutely. Dylan, if you would have told me the score would have been 37-38 in the third quarter, I'm not sure I would believe you. It's been that type of game.
It has been. Now the ball in the court. Good steal by Huggins. But an errant pass goes the other way. DeSena to Butler ahead of the field. Count that and the foul. Another three-point play for the Terriers. This time, the Butler did it.
Yes. And he's been looking for that for some time to get himself going. A guy who's done a ton of things to change his game and change his body from last year to this year, and that's got to feel good.
He knew Cone was coming in to take the swipe, absorb the contact.
Finish with the left hand.
And finish with the left. Been a quiet afternoon to this point for Ethan Butler. Unable to complete the three-point play. Three points the lead for the Terriers. Cone hands off to Gaiman. You want to get him hot if you are the Cardinals. St. Francis Prep ball.
Gaiman trying to get going, getting in the lane, getting downhill, but they're converging. He's making the extra pass, but to no avail. It's getting blocked.
Final 40 seconds, quarter number 3. Vier Anthony in traffic, unable to finish. And now the Cardinals, shot clock is off. Gaiman with the ball. Every shot for Gaiman is makeable.
Yes, it is. A guy who puts pressure on the defense wherever he's at on the floor. Having a tough day today, but that can change at any moment.
There's the handoff to Snipes. Snipes, the kick, the three. Rimmed out, no good. Loose ball, Butler. It's on the floor. And that maybe appropriately is how the third quarter ends, with a car crash in the paint. But aesthetically, this is what you look for in the third quarter. One of the reasons St. Francis Prep has a lead going into the fourth is Big O.
You see Big O here, leaking out and sending it down with authority.
We've seen that before from Big O.
Yes, we have.
And it's St. Francis Prep with a 3-point lead. Fourth quarter when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Every day opens a new door to grow, to build relationships. Every moment, a chance to do more. To buy a home, grow a business, start a family. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
This is definitely an ugly.
Back here at Rose Hill Gymnasium. And Z, you are right. It has been an ugly one. Dylan Butler, Zendon Hamilton here. It is the fourth quarter, the money quarter. And it is, if St. Francis Prep is able to pull this one out, it is the definition of survive and advance. Sacco, contested, foul line off the mark. Big rebound goes to Huggins. He's rejected by Gaiman.
See bodies on the floor everywhere. Dylan, it's just been that type of game.
Yeah, not for the faint of heart. St. Francis Prep still shooting 28%. Cardinal Hayes a little bit better at 42.4. St. Francis Prep 58% from the foul line. The rebounding battle, plus 12 for the Terriers. Here's DeSena. Huggins. There have been 27 combined turnovers in this one. DeSena's 3 off the mark. And the Dancing Bear fouled by Hao Chen.
Game have to be won by effort today, Dylan. That's what I always talk about, impacting the game other than scoring. Because when you're not scoring, you have to do it in other ways. It's an effort-filled game right here.
And that ball deflects out. Ethan Butler back in for the Terriers. He replaces Hao Chen.
See what they got here on the baseline out. Maybe screen to screener.
Good defense by Huggins, trying to deny that pass to Gaiman. Gaiman with just 8 in this game. The leading scorer, really for both teams at this point, is Malik Fields with 18.
Good.
And now an offensive foul called on Gaiman. Going at Big O.
Tough call. Damon trying to get going. Having a tough day, but I'm sure the attempts will keep coming.
What the Cardinals have done, and maybe some of it is self-inflicted for the Terriers, is St. Francis Prep has not been able to go on a run. Here's Huggins. Great kick, open, 3, corner. No good, Big O. And he'll go to the line.
I talked about affecting the game in the other way, and that's exactly what Big O is doing. Offensive rebounding, getting to the line, and it's again, it's that type of game. Baseline drive, baseline drift on the first possession. Missed the shot. Big O gets the offensive rebound for the second look and converting at the foul line.
Saka with 14 and 10 now. And while he's just 4 of 11 from the field, he's now 5 of 6 from the foul line. Big O picked up an offer this year from Boston College. We expect those offers to continue to rise for the junior from Far Rockaway. 5-point lead for the Terriers.
See a little weave action here. Cardinal Hayes.
DeSena, hands in the passing lane. Veer Anthony. Kick out for Huggins, one more. Big O, open for 3, back rim no good. Loose ball rebound, it goes to Fields. And then a foul is called.
A little bit of pressure. Christian Brown trying to speed Fields up.
The largest lead for St. Francis Prep in this one has only been 7. So credit to the underdog Cardinals for being in this one the entire time. That wasn't the case last year. They went down big and had to have a furious rally in the quarterfinals. Fields, it has been his game today. Malik Fields, tough jumper on the baseline. He's got 20.
You can say that again. Just a little floppy action, and he gets to the right hand for the pull-up on the baseline.
And you see again, they are letting Huggins be wide open. That jumper missed. And here's Fields in transition. Pulls up, oh my! Malik Fields having himself a day.
Dylan, he is on automatic right now.
22 for Fields. Timeout for St. Francis Prep. It is a 1-point ball game. Full timeout for the Terriers. And we will take it with them as well. 5:13 left, fourth quarter. St. Francis Prep with a 1-point lead here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Here's a good look at a couple of guys who know something about winning basketball games. Joe Arbertello, Tom Frere. Joe Arbertello, he'll be in the main event tonight about 7 o'clock, taking on Tim Philp and the Gales of Iona Prep. Tom Frere, the winningest active head coach, the Mount St. Michael legendary head coach.
Big time coach, big time program.
And listen, you're big time when you're in those seats, right? Those are the fancy
seats.
Yeah, those are the fancy cat seats.
Yeah.
We're up here in the boonies.
Those are the VIP seats. We're not in
freezing with a big steal by Fields. Malik Fields, the flush. And guess what? Hayes has the lead.
Malik Fields is just having his way today.
Sacco fouled on his way in.
And you got Sacco just doing the dirty work down in the paint. Again, not having a great shooting day, Dylan, but just the dirty work. Again, just imposing his will, physicality on the game today. Stopping the clock, getting to the foul line, and getting and really making his mark that way.
And we alluded to it before, 4 of 12 from the field. But Sacco now 8 of 9 from the foul line. He's got 17 and 10 for St. Francis Prep.
You were talking about those offers. I'm sure there's going to be more.
Yeah. Right now, the best way to get offers as a junior is to play as many games as possible, play in the biggest games as possible. And that's what St. Francis Prep is hoping to do here, but they've only got a 1-point lead. We're midway through quarter number 4, the money quarter. Fields runs into a brick wall. That is Osmana Sacco.
Terrific job defensively by Sacco, walling up, making sure he doesn't foul. Fields having a terrific day, trying to get into the lane.
Christian Brown to inbound. 8 on the shot clock. Good hands. Mush Parker points the same way. So Hayes with the inbound again. It's a tough spot to inbound the ball from with 7 seconds.
Yes, it is.
He tried to go inside. That's where 3 Terriers were. Joe Lodes with 2 hands up like, why? DeSena, open, 3, buries it! A huge basket for St. Francis Prep. Timeout called by Cardinal Hayes.
Big time shot by Justin DeSena, the freshman.
And DeSena, look at him in the corner.
Yep, just not paying attention to him, as I think they were trying to figure out defensively what they were doing, and DeSena lights him up from the corner. Lets him know you need to pay attention to me, Dylan.
And what you like, too, is there's no thinking, right? Catch and shoot. Justin DeSena, yeah, 6'2", averaging 6 points a game, but he knocked down 19. That was against Academy New Church from Pennsylvania. That was in Maryland early in the season. We've only seen growth from Justin DeSena's game. We've seen him grow in confidence, right? He's gotten to the basket. He's competed on the defensive end. He's been mixing things up, battling for rebounds.
Confident young man out of Rockville Center. And hitting big-time shots in big-time moments here today.
And currently stretching out those calves. So St. Francis Prep, 47-43 lead over Hayes. Hayes all year, Zendon, they've been in every game they've played. For much of the year, though, it was all a bunch of tight losses. To St. Ray's, to Stepinac, to St. Francis Prep. They had a signature win late in the regular season. Here's DeSena. Back-to-back triples.
I just said, he said, you need to pay attention to me. Maybe they didn't hear him. And he's in the corner, wide open.
Fields, the response off the side. And you start in the field with 3 minutes left, like the Terriers can maybe pull away here. Big O, foul line jumper, off the mark. Not the shot the Terriers wanted in that situation. If anything, Z, I think you want to get some touches as Barry, the runner in the lane.
And Big Barry shows that he's agile on the perimeter.
Yeah, and the big fella, listen, 6'9", just a puppy, just a sophomore.
Just a sophomore. He makes plays on the perimeter.
The look inside, and Vier Anthony count it, and the foul. And Vier Anthony, like Ty Turnage last game, a little bit limp to get up.
Makes the cut behind the defense. He wasn't aware, and the easy bucket.
Watch Big O here. He is like, get off my man.
Yeah.
Bryce Yancey, get out of the way. And this is not what St. Francis Prep wants to see. Vier Anthony cannot shoot the free throw as he's not putting weight on that left leg. Eerily similar to Ty Turnage from the first game. And actually, the way they're stretching it out, you wonder, is that a cramp?
Might be a cramp.
And you can see, too, we're double fisting the water here.
I would say we're hoping that it's a cramp.
When we saw him go down, it's not like he went down awkwardly. He went down hard on his leg. So I would say cramping. And we saw that a little bit, too. DeSena trying to stretch out, make sure he didn't cramp.
Yep.
Griffin completes the three-point play for Vier Anthony. And right now, they're just stretching out that leg.
I'm going to say this. When you have Gaiman and Fields on the floor, I'm not sure you're ever really out of the game.
Christian Brown, the jumper. Within striking distance remains Hayes. Huggins fouled on his way to the basket.
Huggins has no fear when it comes to getting in the lane, finishing over the top. Terrific, strong move.
Fourth foul called on Campbell. So Huggins, it has been a struggle for the senior, but he knocks down his free throw. He's 3 of 10 from the field. And again, he's not alone, right, in that struggle. There's been a bunch of Terriers As there's another look at Veer Anthony. He goes 1 of 2. Big offensive rebounds. Huggins, another one for Big O. Possession stays alive. And Jimmy Lynch, animated, like, I don't want this shot. Let's get the shot clock going. Let's get some open looks. Griffin, big save. And it goes the other way. It's going to go to Cardinal Hayes. Another turnover for the Terriers.
Man, it's just been that type of game. Don't want to give up second opportunities on a free throw. You got to go quick here.
Ball deflects. Campbell in there with 4 fouls. Fields has been the man today.
Yes, he has.
Baseline floater, count it! And the foul! From seemingly Zendon, an impossible angle.
My goodness, Fields is having a day. He said, let me introduce myself to you.
Malik Fields saying nothing is impossible. Look at that floater.
My goodness. Terrific first step. And he's so, Dylan, he's so big and tall with his shoulders. Once he gets by you, he's able to angle the ball so you can't block it from behind the backboard.
Somewhere here, his dad, the former D1 player, is saying, that's my boy. 4-point lead right now. Fields unable to complete the three-point play, but he has 26 on the game. A timeout called by Jimmy Lynch.
To organize the troops.
That's a full timeout. It'll give us a chance to take a look at some of the all-league selections this year in the Catholic High School League. There's a look at the third team. Malik's like, how am I third team? I'm dropping 26 in the Bronx. We can see him joined there by D.R. Anderson, Adonis Ratliff, Diakone from St. Peter's, Dylan Stanley we'll see coming up, Justin Delgado, his season just came to a close. Now the second team. Some more guys we'll see in the coming games. Ramirez and Alston, the leaders, the senior leaders from Christ the King. Dylan Callahan will take those guys on as a sophomore gameman. We just saw Turnage doing Willis Reed type stuff for St. Ray's. Ethan Butler in this game. And the first team, Stores, Anthony, Sacco, Jervis and Carbucia up next. Johnny Keenan in the nightcap. Player of the year or the MVP in the league is Halon Rollins. And your coach of the year, he goes back to back. It's Pat Massaroni from Archbishop Stepinac. So well-deserved honors for all.
Absolutely.
As we reset, 68 seconds left in regulation. Good hands defensively there by Christian Brown. Nearly calls another turnover.
See Sacco on that first team, him putting that imprint on that game today.
Butler. Sacco flying in, but he stepped on the baseline. Hayes ball. 1:02 left. Both coaches with one timeout remaining.
Your Hayes, you want to get a high pick here and go quick. Or
Fields from 3, buries it!
Or if you're Fields, you can just do that, Dylan.
You put your defender on skates, and then you knock down the triple. 1-point ball game. Anthony is back in, but hobbling.
We're at a standstill.
And if you're Jimmy Lynch, you really can't call a timeout for Anthony because you only have one left.
That's correct.
Here's DeSena. 5 on the shot clock. Feeds it inside. Butler, no good. Loose ball goes to Hayes. And a collision at midcourt. And that's a good foul by DeSena because it's only the third team foul.
Yes.
So you stop transition. Joe Lodes will call his final timeout. Another look. A heads-up play by DeSena.
Very smart play by DeSena.
Because who was ahead of the field, right?
Absolutely.
Literally Malik Fields.
Malik Fields was ahead of the field. So, nice move by him. Stop progress. And Mr. Joe Lodes calls a timeout. He's been in this situation before a couple of times.
So Zendon, in that huddle, right, if you're Joe Lodes, right, are you a riverboat gambler here a little bit and you hold for the last and make sure that the Terriers do not get the ball back? Or is the first good look to the basket you can get?
No. If I'm Joe Lodes, I hold for the last. This is what you want here.
All right, question number 2. Malik Fields, the hot hand, 29 for Fields. But the Terriers know he's got the hot hand. Do you put the ball in Fields' hands, or maybe a guy like Gaiman, who has been quiet today, maybe he gets the basketball?
You put the ball in the best player's hands, let him decide the outcome, which right now is Fields.
So 1-point ball game, shot clock is off. 11.9 seconds to go. Hayes was in the game a year ago. They came up just short. Now they have a chance to pull off the upset at Rose Hill. Here is Fields, deflected by DeSena, and Huggins is fouled. Justin DeSena with maybe the season-saving play for the Terriers. Another look, Z.
Terrific defensive play.
There you see him, gets a piece. Huggins jumps on the loose ball. He will shoot 2. 8.8 seconds left.
No bigger free throws than this.
Now,
right
2
here.
free throws. If he makes them both, Hayes can still tie this game with a 3. First one is good. You always want to get that first one.
The senior.
Yeah, he transferred in this year from Pioneer Academy in New Jersey. Biggest free throws of the year for the senior, Huggins. And that makes it a 3-point lead for the Terriers with 8.8 seconds remaining.
No question.
All right, we go back to the huddle. Three-point lead. Right, next foul. You know what? I'm answering my own question, Z. I am fouling if I'm St. Francis Prep. You've got 2 to give.
Sure. But
obviously not a shot.
No, you're fouling right away.
I will let the inbound come in, and then I'm fouling.
Not a bad thought. You know what?
I'm not even opposed to fouling again. Because it's always hard when you play that, you know, forcing a missed shot. Like, those things never go the right way. Right? It's a 3-point game. I foul if I'm St. Francis Prep here.
See what Jimmy Lynch's thought process is. Clearly you don't want the ball in Fields' hands with the day he's been having.
Well, Huggins is going to be on him. They don't foul. I foul here. And that nearly was a loose ball. Griffin called for the foul. Good one.
Yes.
Right, as we said, you break up some of the momentum. 5.6. Now, do you really get ambitious here if you're St. Francis Prep, and do you foul again, making it a double bonus?
I don't. I would say
I don't want the 3. That is for sure.
No. And I would say no for the foul.
So now you got some 3-point shooters stepping into the game. Suleiman Cohn.
Yes.
And Naz Campbell.
Maybe we'll see some switching here from St. Francis. Just to break things up. No, you have Gaiman.
Gaiman with 2. Gaiman hands off. Fields for 3. Count it! Malik Fields. We are going to overtime.
Did we say SG? My goodness, Fields is having a day.
A bit of a broken play. Look at Fields. Oh my goodness. And if you were in that St. Francis Prep huddle, you're like, guys, no threes.
No threes and no foul.
I don't know. I might have said foul. Again, you get 2 free throws, right? And there's a lot of coaches all over the place, right?
Sure.
Right now.
Sure.
Actual coaches, quarterback kind of coaches, right?
Saying you should have fouled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so in the moment. So Fields, how about these numbers? 32 points in 32 minutes.
Again, when you have professional scorers, which I call them both, and one is not having a great day, you're always in the game. Always. They know how to get the shot off. They know when to get the shot off. They know how to get the shot off. You're always in the game.
And all along that, like you had Joe Arbitello there, Tom Frere, Paul Gilvari, right? Like a lot of, this is the conversation happening down there right now. I would have fouled. No way, you don't foul there.
Yeah, sure.
You just don't give up the 3.
Yeah.
Like, there is all kinds of debate happening here at Rose Hill Gymnasium. Regardless of all of that, here's Paul Gilvari, Ray Nash next to him. Those guys have seen a lot of basketball in their time.
Yes, they have.
And this one has been a doozy. 4th quarter we go. Jump ball goes to the Terriers. And also the pressure on St. Francis Prep. And that was part of our conversation with Joe Load. Said, listen, we can play with house money. We're the underdog.
Yeah.
And he said, let's play loose. Malik Fields said, I got you, coach.
Yep.
Good hands defensively by Naz Campbell.
No, it's a little late to say this, but if I'm St. Francis Prep, we got to shut the water off with Fields. I mean, he's just doing all types of anything he wants out here.
And Naz Campbell, terrific hustle. Forces the ball off Sacco. It's a cliche sometimes, right? But you always hear coaches say or talk about who wants it more. I'm telling you right now, these Cardinals, they're looking like that team right now. That one, though, goes off of Fields. Wait a minute, Smush Parker said. It's staying with the Cardinals.
Most definitely.
Z, you like that call?
Yeah. It was definitely poked out by the defender. But we have to shut the water off if we're St. Francis Prep. Run somebody at him.
And now Veer Anthony back in the game. And we're still staying with Cardinal Hayes. And Steve Taylor saying, please sit down, St. Francis Prep bench.
In these type of situations, they'll sets go out the window, and your player, your big-time player, takes over the game.
That's this guy, Fields. No good. Butler the rebounds. You take those shots for what he's given you on this Sunday afternoon.
No question.
Here is Huggins. Butler in the lane. Jumper, no good. Loose ball. Those 50-50s you mentioned,
Yes.
It goes to Huggins, and he was fouled.
The senior, he knows how important this game is.
Huggins knocked down 2 huge free throws down the stretch, which made it a 3-point game. My goodness, had he not made one of those, this game could be over right now, and it's Hayes marching on to take on their rivals, St. Raymond's.
Absolutely. Got the senior at the line. Sure, he's taking care of business.
Huggins 3 of 4 from the line today, 11 points. And this one hit every part of the rim and went back out. When Troy Faison transferred out, it was an opportunity for Huggins, and he has stepped right in. Missed both. Big rebound by Butler. Second chance opportunity. Tap back in by Sacco. The rebounding is what's been keeping St. Francis Prep in this game, and it's why the Terriers have a 2-point lead.
We talked about Fields having a day. You got Sacco with 19 and 14 rebounds. So the Stars have showed up today.
St. Francis Prep plus 15 on the glass. And how about the offensive rebounds, right? Listen, you get offensive rebounds because you miss shots. That's the glass half empty, right?
Yes,
approach. But how about 27-6 on the offensive glass for St. Francis Prep? And Fields, it went in and out and back in.
Not having a good day, the energy for St. Francis Prep on the rebounding edge is what keeps them in the game.
For 60% of this game, St. Francis Prep has led. But it doesn't matter. We have our 5th tie of this ball game. Sacco for 3. Off the mark. And that rebound went to Fields.
I'm going to say a little quick in the shot clock for that look. You want to run a little clock. Get that anytime.
Barry lost it. In transition, Sacco throws it away. And now we go the other way. Huggins, contested, counted, and the foul.
The senior with a big-time layup. Extremely big time. And that's why you have your seniors in the game. Right over the top, he has no problem. They were leaving him open early on for three-pointers. He says, I can also get to the rim and convert.
Fouled hard, but Huggins finishes inside. He now has 14 points. Lead back to 3.
Those type of plays energize your program and your group, Dylan.
But it's been hard for St. Francis Prep to stack those plays.
Yes.
Right? They haven't had like 3 and 4. And they haven't been able to go on a run. These pesky Cardinals have been hanging in. And look at the scoop layup by Gaiman. Joe Lodes stretches out his hamstrings, hustles over to Steve Salucio to call that full timeout.
Oh, he just turns the corner. David Gaiman hasn't had a great game, but again, when you have professional scorers, you're always in the game. Terrific finish by Gaiman.
Yeah, and he's a guy who's going to be sneaky dangerous, I think, down this stretch. Because, again, Fields has been that guy, right? And 34 on the game for Fields.
Sure.
Gaiman just with 10. But at any moment, this is the leader of this team.
Yes.
He can get hot and maybe help catapult Cardinal Hayes into the semifinals.
When you have scorers of that caliber, 3-level scorers, and Cardinal has 2 of them, any bucket can get them going, Dylan. So that may be the bucket to get him going. And you got 126 left. You never know. He may say, listen, you've carried us up to this point, Malik. It's my turn to take the load and help us win and take over this game here.
Joe Lodes, that was his final timeout of this one. Still one in Jimmy Lynch's pocket. .126 remaining.
Man, as murky as this game has been, you never thought it would come out like this. That's why you love this game. That's why you love this sport, Dylan.
It is as murky as the East River. Here is Huggins, where if you're fishing, you're not quite sure what you're coming up with. That's been this game. It could be a shoe. It could be a fish. We don't know. Here's Huggins, as St. Francis Prep now wants to milk some clock.
They want to get things organized here with a little weave action, ending with Sacco.
7 on the shot clock. Sacco powers himself to the bucket, but he is called for the offensive foul.
Upset with himself.
Only his second. It's the 5th, or they're in the bonus, but again, it's a alternate possession. So both teams, as we're inside the final minute of the first overtime period.
You see here,
Gaiman steps back. Front rim no good, loose ball, it's Huggins. How many big plays down the stretch has Huggins made?
A ton.
Your natural leader is Veer Anthony. He's cramped up on the sideline.
The other senior takes over and manages the game for this group.
And now Jimmy Lynch will take his final timeout. 1 point lead for the Terriers.
Again, affecting the game in different ways. You're leaving Huggins open because he may be struggling shooting the basketball, but he's affecting the game other ways. Winning plays, diving on the floor for loose balls, hitting free throws, managing the game for his team, coming up with big plays, 50-50 balls. He's all over the place as the senior. He understands how important this game is, and he understands his role, Dylan.
So to reset the situation here, St. Francis Prep a 1 point lead. A look inside the St. Francis Prep huddle. Neither team has a timeout remaining. Both teams in the double bonus. Possession arrow to Cardinal Hayes. 21.8 seconds left in this first overtime period. Winner advances to take on St. Raymond's in the quarterfinals. And George Lopez maybe somewhere here in Rose Hill. He's sitting back, his feet up. Keep playing. Play 5 overtimes.
Yeah.
Get tired. As they see a look, Raymond's already booked their spot into the semifinals on Thursday night.
Yes, sir.
Will it be St. Francis Prep or Cardinal Hayes joining them? Terriers ball. Connor Griffin to inbound as Veer Anthony. Ooh, Huggins. Ooh.
Oof. Ooh.
Joe Lodes doesn't want to look. Now, if we can show this again, there was contact by Bryce Yancey.
It seemed like there was contact, Dylan. Joe Lowe's 16th season. Looked like he may be praying.
Here's another look. What do you think, Z?
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, I think you got to call that.
So Huggins back to the line, another money free throw. And this one a huge one, because it will make it a 3-point game again. Front rim, no good. Here comes Fields. Fields doubles. The kick out. Fields, 10 on the game clock. Pulls it back out. Malik Fields wants it in his hands. Malik Fields has 34. Rejected by Sacco. Loose ball. St. Francis Prep survives and advances. The Terriers pull it out. Fields tries the floater. Sacco says no. And St. Francis Prep, they pull this one out. 61-59. to 59. What a big win for St. Francis Prep. There's a lot to work on for the Terriers, but the good news for them is they've got more basketball to be played. As they win this one in overtime, 61 to 59. As they will play St. Raymond's. We have one of our semifinals set. As we will be joined momentarily courtside by our player of the game, Jaden Huggins, ends up with 15 huge points for the Terriers. That's 9 above his season average. We now head courtside, where Zendon Hamilton has our player of the game.
What's that? I said I can't. You gotta speak a little loud. I can't really hear it.
Zendon Hayes, the most important player of the game. How are you feeling? Tell me how you're feeling right now.
I'm feeling good. Like it's just a blessing to be here. We made a playoff run in BQs, but it's a blessing to be here. One of our players fell short, but I feel me, we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta handle business, and so we're gonna see her next Sunday. We won't be here next Sunday. We're gonna handle business.
You being the lone senior, how important is this for you?
Hey, I play like every game. Every game is my last game. I feel like so I gotta go out there play 100% everything. But it's hard. But we gotta do what we gotta do.
No question, no question. I want to say congratulations to you and continue to play well in advance. Back to you, Dylan.
So St. Francis Prep survives and advances. Overtime win over Cardinal Hayes. That'll do it here from game number 2. We want to thank our entire varsity media crew, executive producer Ben Turchin, our technical director Chris Sweeney, for Ron Pierre, Kevin Catalanato, for my broadcast partner Zendon Hamilton, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Rose Hill. Join us in about 15 minutes for the third of 4 quarterfinal matchups right here from Fordham, live on the Varsity Media Sports Network.